Yeah.
Alright, so this is the Overwatch Rialto tank guide. Let's see, I like to, depending on how good the team is, I like to generally go Roadhog to start. Just because he's so disgusting on the first point. You'll see why too. It's so gross. So the first thing is a tank you want to do. Grayson already did it. So you see these little what's it called? These little like guardrails? Break those. Always the first thing you do, right? So as a defender on this map as a tank, if I'm playing Roadhog, this is what I do. All right, I play at this building. All right, so if I could, even if he goes Roadhog, I bait the hook. Maybe I hit that, right? Or I hit somebody behind him, and then I just throw them into here, right? Because Roadhog just does this, and then you could turn with him 180 degrees. You just put him in the water, right? If they dive you over here, cool. Try not to get booped, but like, okay, cool. I just throw him in the water again, right? The other thing you could do, right? If they're trying to poke you out there, I play in this building. Are you back yet? I play in this building, right? You hook him. Oh, that was really far. Hook him right in the water, right? You don't want to stay on the water all the time, because that's how you get booped, right? You want to stay at this wall, and then walk forward as you're about to hook him, alright? Same thing with here, you don't want to do this, but like you peek and you just hook right in. So that's why I like Roadhog here, because you just spawn hold them the entire time, especially in low reloads. Again, like he could have just thrown me off there, right? So if I'm going to attack, I just go like that, and then he's gone. I'm sorry, Grayson, that's torture. So let me swap here, because after I lose point there, I generally don't play Hog. So let's see. I'll go Risa here, because Risa is pretty bad to fight against here on defense. So on defense, this is mainly a brawl map. Very little dive is needed on this map, if at all. You can run it on attack potentially. I'll show you why, but on defense you really don't need it. This next spot Grayson already knows. If you're not playing Roadhog here, you hold right here generally, right? Because then you could block the Roadhog hook this way. You have somewhere to fall back to, right? You can't throw me off the bridge. I mean, even if you're a Risa too with the hog thing, right? Like, let's say he's going for the hook here. You just fortify and then run up and just shove him off. Like, that's another thing you could do, right? You could just hide in this room maybe, try and javelin somebody off, or even come out and just try and throw them off the map. A little risky, so like if they have a hog, you might want to just shift any. You do waste a lot of cooldown, so hopefully you get it. Let me turn this music down a little bit. So then if you don't want to do that, you don't want to be a little weird. You kind of hold it right here. They can maybe go through that way and stuff, but like it doesn't really matter to you, to your tank. And the cart should probably be around here, so you just like they're cut off this angle a little bit, so if they peek a little too far, right? Spot's pretty strong. You do have to back up or you lose around there, right? This spot is disgusting. This spot ruins the game for a lot of people, right? You just get stuck here. Maybe they have a Sigma or a Reese or something like a Ram Ryan, and they just swing at this corner. They just poke you over and over. How's he getting past me here, right? The cart generally gets stuck here too, right? So they're either stuck to like a lane right here where Grayson's at, or like this left lane, and it's just so abysmal, right? So this is probably where you can run dive on attack if you need to, but generally, if you lose this spot, it's kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's not the worst, because again, it's a huge defender map. Next spot right here, pretty strong again. There's a lot of angles for them, but like they still have to shove you really far. As you can keep going, this next spot. This spot is again like on the other maps, like the don't let them pass point. Maybe like right here actually, if you really need to. But generally you can hold right here. If you have to back up more, right, like they have a bash or something, you hold here, and I'm pretty sure they can't cap cart, but you have to like keep like poking it, right, so they don't cap. You can play in this room, or this room's actually probably stronger if you want to play in a room, because you have a mega back there, and you can just, I'm pretty sure you can get that cart from being capped here. Right here they can go around the side, but like this spot's not bad either. Right, so like holding that bridge is really hard to take as an attacker, especially since you spawn right over here as a defender and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go in the spawn room quick and show you what you can do on attack and defense with Roadhog here, because he's ridiculous. Yeah, Roadhog's not one of the best tanks, but hey, he's getting a rework, so as a defender or an attacker, you know, you hook him, you can actually pull him through the railing here. Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Really?
No.
Yeah, so you could, you know, you kind of want to be close to the railing, but you just shove him over it. It works on both sides too. Kind of gross. Now be aware, if you're right here on this spot, if you hook him, they could go right onto this. All right. Or they could, you know, maybe if I hook Grayson on that mid bridge again, that like little boat comes through, so they might get on that, and then, you know, sometimes it just happens, right? So, but you can do that, and it's pretty BM, but it's kind of nasty, right? You wanna try it on me? Go ahead.
One sec.
You gonna try and hook me on the boat?
Okay.
Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah, I didn't know you didn't know that. I thought I've done that to you a couple times. It's really annoying to get back up here too. But, another thing is Roadhog. There's so many spots for Roadhog. This might just become a Roadhog guy, but like, you know, they're on that bridge. You just could do that.
Facing through objects, it's cool.
So like, the big thing on this map, if you're gonna do Roadhog, you could go through so many things that like, even on other maps, like there's just, if they could be pulled over it a little bit, then they could go right in the water, right? So like that's, you know, if you're playing Roadhog, you have to be kind of creative like that. But if you're not Roadhog and like a normal, not deranged human, you know, you're maybe a Reese or a Ram, like I'm gonna switch to underneath the map's weird. So let me get back up. That'll give Grayson time to come back to. Alright, so people generally don't hold these doors. Like they can, right? They could hold these doors with the cart being right here, but it's generally not the best. Most people hold right here, right? Just because you have a lot of area to fall back to. You can hold up where Grayson's at, like by the lamppost, but you need to be able to walk backwards, right? So you don't necessarily need to go back this way, but like maybe into this room if you're gonna back up and then rotate around to right here. And this is generally a really strong spot because again the cart just like kind of cucks the enemy team. So you hold here, and then as he comes up, you keep going, Grayson. So if they go around right here, again the cart gives you a lot more cover because it like if it's stuck right here, they're again stuck into those two lanes, right? So you could kind of actually stand right here. Depending, you kind of don't want to play this room if you're a tank unless your healers are down that way, right? Because then if I end up being shoved a little bit, it's gonna be hard, and I can't really fall back into my healers this way, right? I'm a Reese, so good luck with that. But generally, like, it just depends where your healers are playing. So right here is also a little hard, right? So if you need to back up, you might want to play like right here, or even potentially like right here. This is probably a little better actually, right around this area. Now hopefully your damage are playing up top around here, right? Because this spot is ridiculous, right? So we'll go over how to do that on attack to get rid of that kind of stuff, which a lot of teams don't do, which they should, right? But generally, you know, and if they take that or they push you back here, you're respawning. You should have enough time probably to get it right here. And this spot is ridiculous, right? You could hold here, you know, maybe they come that way, but not really, because they generally get no line of sight from their healers. And yeah, Roadhog players go on the boats and hook you off, right? Another thing is right here, a lot of people will go right here and shoot you a lot. It's not the best spot, but it's okay. And then if they really push up this far, you're kind of have to, if your team is a lot of, like, let's say all of you are alive and you have enough time to touch, and you're a tank, right? So hopefully they don't have a Zen onto bash and a melt you immediately, right? You come through this way, you might have to, like, you play this box a little bit, or this lamppost, because this lamppost I'm pretty sure can block even a Diva Bomb, depending on where you stand on it.
Block all my right.
Yeah. So like, you know, play right here, you know, you could play forward a little bit, you know, maybe go to these boxes so your supports could heal you, but you need to touch card here. The way you would go through this room is, again, you could do that kind of similar thing and touch card that way, but like if they're pushing up and their DPS are up here, you could kind of run to their DPS potentially. It just depends on what tank you're playing, right? So we keep moving. All right. This is like Eichenwald right here, right? If they get past it, you want to spam the shit out of them here, right? Oh, these gotta walk up. They have to walk up into the worst angles. There's very little options for attackers on this spot. This area is very ridiculous, right? So let's just say you have a Mei too. Right, you could play up at this corner maybe and just spam him. You know, even though he's hog, it doesn't really matter. He just gets walled here, and then I just kill him, right? So like, the options they have is to probably go around here, and that doesn't really mean anything to you because you're playing like right around this area, right? Or even back a little bit like this, right? Because then it's harder for him to hook me. He's got to go out more in the open. But generally, there's not a lot of options. You know, they do have this door, but that's generally a Genji or like a flanker kind of door. It would be interesting. We'll go on attack of what you can potentially do. You know, as we keep going, the cart will also give them cover, right? So you don't want to play really on this wall, right? This sucks. This is where you play if they end up pushing past that bridge. Right, you hold this. This spot is disgusting as well, right? There's nowhere for them to stand probably besides cart. And maybe they go this way, whoop-de-doo, then I just turn and I do that, right? That's not a big deal, right? You could cover them. There's a lot of like, you have a lot of cover here versus them not having any. And then the strongest spot on the map is right here. These two doors, that when the cart gets in here, Roadhog could barely even fit through this. So like, it is so terrible, right? So like they have a Rhine, the cart's stuck here. The Rhine just swings you on each side, and it's really tough. They have the option to go here, whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, they go there, whatever. You're still here at the door. You could turn, you could just throw them away. You could just do all that garbage. And that's generally defense. You know, since you're a tank, you're up further than most people, right? And you could even play these pillars if they do get past the door. But that's, you know, kind of the basics of cover. That's generally defense. And we'll go to attack. Attack has a lot of options, but you have to be really coordinated to do them. Oh, I just clicked start game mode. Whoops. We'll just load back in. So again, I'll show you Roadhog stuff, because you could just also replace me with Arisa if you really wanted to. You know, because I'll show you just where to stand, but I'm not going to swap out Roadhog here. Just pretend I'm Arisa, right? So again, hopefully their team broke these, but if not, you know, you just break those, right? Whatever. Same thing, you're gonna have to, like, you know, show you where the Roadhog stands, so potentially you hook them into the water. You know, even if they're not running them, you just wait, and then you just, you know, I say it, but you get the idea.
That was kind of cool.
Actually go Arisa, because I already showed you guys what you could do on defense with him, which is kind of like, you know, what you could do on attack too. But if their hog is better than you, you know, it happens. You kind of just go Arisa, you shift, or you go with somebody that's shield and you just don't get hooked. As an attacker tank, you really want to push the cart up. Alright, you don't want to just run into them. You need to push this cart up a little bit. For at least this first section, because the cart will block them from doing a lot of damage to you, right? So what I'd recommend potentially is just going with this cart behind it as it goes. And then as you get onto the bridge, you could push forward. You know, let's just say you're right. You just push forward, get them away from you, and then your team has space to actually walk on that bridge a little bit now, right? You know, they're gonna be holding where I said they're gonna hold generally. But let me just go to Winston too. That might be better because I can show you dive as well. So if that ends up not working, right, and let's just hope they don't have a Bash and a Torb or something crazy like that, which they probably would, to be honest with you. But if you want to run dive, you know, somebody's maybe up here as a soldier, you jump on them. You jump on that side, it's not a big deal. You know, you can jump up here. This spot is really strong for defending attackers and not defending attackers, defenders, you know, and then attackers as well if you could actually, one of your players goes up there. Right, and then if you're up there as a Winston, you know, let's just say he's holding that corner, the one down here, Grayson. Let's just say he's holding here. What does the tank do now, right? Now you just jump on his supports back here, you know, now he's got to turn really far, right? Hopefully your team's running a good dive, but, you know, it is what it is. The other option, if they have a Widow, you could actually jump over here, right, and then go get the Widow that way. At least you get a remove is the very big thing. If you're not a fast character, the stairs would be over here, and that's probably the strongest way to take that spot, because you could drop on them or even poke them out. It just depends on what goes on. Maybe you have a better brawl, so you just run through them, right? But generally, there's that. And then if they're playing around where Grayson's at, your team can actually go through this way and then go up here, right? Let's just say they have a Widow or an Ashe or something up there, and then your whole team could go up this way, poke them out up here potentially, or even go over here and poke them out, you know? It just really depends on what's going on in the game. Alright, so you take here, you know, be aware of where I said the defender should stand, right? You just, you know, maybe play around that. You know, it's good to, like, if you don't play a lot of Winston, you could do like a light, what I call like a light dive, right? It's like if he's the tank, I just jump on him and I drop a shield like that. Kind of like to get him to move, but so I don't get bursted immediately. Alright, so we'll keep moving. You know, maybe they're up here, whatever, it's not a big deal. It's generally really easy to take that spot over. You know, because you just jump on them or you just poke them out, right? If they are holding up top, as Winston, you can go up here, right? That's a huge thing. To just jump up here if you're on a dive tank like a deep or something, you kind of poke them out there. If you're not, and they're really like pressuring you up top and they're on the stairs and stuff, you're gonna have to go up these stairs, right? You know, you go this way, you go up these stairs, you have to go through this building. Preferably with the Lucio if you're running Brawl, right? You go through here, and then, you know, maybe their soldier, one of the more annoying damages are up here. If their tank responds to this, right, like an Orisa probably will be able to respond to this. So if you are Brawl tank, maybe you're Orisa, maybe you're Ram, you're probably gonna have to fight this door. The hope is you get them off here, right? You get them off this ground, so you could actually take a lot more stuff easier. You know, and then if they're just all down here, you know, whatever, you just run, you know, hope you get a pick, general attack and stuff. The other thing most people don't know you could do on this map, you know, this is maybe even for those Lucio or Sombra players that want to back cap, or even a Pharah player, right? Right here, if you're running dive and you have like all jumpy characters, you could jump right up here and like fight them this way, right? So that's, yep. So that's huge if you like really want to do some crazy stuff. I mean, I don't know if you can Maywall on it, but you might be able to even Maywall TP him if you really wanted to try something crazy like that. You know, as Winston, you have a lot of options to jump people up here. It's okay. You can kind of get through with it with mostly Brawl on this map regardless. You know, as soon as we go through. And this is usually the problem area. You don't want to go like a Winston here, ever. It's general, like you can, but it's really hard to like just dive on people because you have this like bridge blocking your way, right? And, you know, maybe you're better with jumps than I am. You know, you jump through what, yeah, but they just melt you here. Your team doesn't follow you in. It's not great, right? So the options you have are hopefully you win this way, right? You use card as cover. You play on the right side potentially, right? So it blocks off a lot of the angle. You follow card up. The other option is to go through this room. Again, you get spammed out really hard, but if you all go through it, it could work. An option that's underrated is that little flanker path, right? So you go Lucio, you speed boost up here with a Mayor Reaper and, you know, Jugger Queen or Ram. You fight them up here, right? Then they can't really hold you. So that's usually pretty good. In this part, you know, it's good luck. Get a couple kills. You know, they might still defend because this spot's terrible, but yeah, you could all run through this way. It's not a, you know, it's not crazy. They'll see you doing this too generally, so it's not the best, right? Because they'll just respond. But you kind of just need to get pressure up here and just use an ult for, you know, 5 and then just win the play. And that's generally Rialto. So there's a lot of weird stuff you could do on this map, like that little jump area, right? You know, Pharah is really prevalent on this map, so it's kind of tough for tank players. But that's basically Rialto.